Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. It's a little bit late this week. I'm sorry about the late update, the late upload. I've been away for the past couple of days just celebrating my 20th anniversary in the south of Poland with my wife, and I've just got back and it's kind of late in the evening, but I want to let you know what's going on in the world of esoteric and occult books. And of course, the first thing that I'd like to do is to thank miskatonicbooks.com for supporting the show with your very kind sponsorship. Thank you so much, miskatonicbooks.com. If you don't know miskatonicbooks.com, go and check out their website. Of course, the links are all down below. Miskatonicbooks.com have recently come out with some very exciting news. Of course, the steganography, which I'm going to be giving you a little brief insight of tomorrow in my roundup video that I'll make. But just to let you know that the nice deluxe edition is back in stock at Miskatonic Books. If you live in the US, that is definitely the cheapest way to go about picking that one up. And then, of course, the fantastic news is that the Thai Occult Volume 1, many of you have received the Thai Occult Volume 2, which Miskatonic Books published just a couple of about a year ago now, and everyone was saying, well, yes, great, but the Thai Occult 1 is out of stock, or at least in a nice edition it's out of stock. And so they have put together a very, very nice edition, and it is now shipping, folks. It's just really very, very cool news. And if you haven't picked it up yet, then you can pick it up straight away from the links down below. The Thai Occult is Peter Jenks's investigation of magic in Thailand, and it goes quite deep, and he speaks to various ajans. I think I might be wrong there, so it's not a how-to book. It's rather an insight into what it is that they do, why they do it that way, and so on and so forth. And a look at the talismans that they create, and a look at what those talismans are supposed to do, and why they do it, and how all of that fits within their philosophy of the world and everything. And it's all very fascinating stuff, absolutely fascinating stuff, and a very rare insight into this kind of magic. So very, very cool stuff. So there we go. News from Black Letter Press. There is an upcoming Kickstarter, Ars Goetia, which went on pre-order some time ago. There've been a few delays, but it is now started to ship. Okay, so it started shipping a couple of days ago. Apologize for the slight delay. Appreciate your patience. Rest assured, we are working as fast as possible to fulfill all the pre-orders and ensure you receive your copies soon. Thank you for understanding and your support. The second edition is available in our shop, so anyone who missed out on the pre-orders for the first edition, you can actually hop over to Black Letter Press to check out what the second edition looks like. And then some, this is the very, very exciting news. So not sure when this is launching, but you can, I'll say it, it's the Discovery of Witchcraft, Reginald Scott's first edition so a republication of the very first edition. So, not with all the extra materials by other authors and so on and so forth, just the straight up Reginald Scott's Discovery of Witchcraft, and it looks just beautiful, really, really beautiful. We aim to produce a beautiful new edition of Reginald Scott's The Discovery of Witchcraft with modernized spelling and punctuation. This is the business, right? This is what I love about Black Letter Press, is that they make these classical texts readable, right? Not to say that the classical texts aren't readable, but it's not it's not easy, right? It's a task. You have to sit down and work it out, and it's you get used to it in the end, and so on and so forth. The way Black Letter Press make these, it just makes it possible to pick it up and read it, and it's the original language. It's just a little bit updated so that it reads just fluidly, so you can take it in the way it was intended at the time, right? So that's nice. That's really cool. While preserving the text's early modern English character. There you go. They just strike that really nice balance. The images will be restored and the typesetting will be modernized, ensuring the historical charm is retained. The Discovery of Witchcraft, published by Reginald Scott in 1584, is a groundbreaking work that challenges the existence of witchcraft and the widespread persecution of alleged witches. So for those of you who don't know, essentially Reginald Scott wrote this book to say, stop persecuting witches. If you believe that witchcraft really exists, then you're very, very stupid. Here's an example of how witchcraft, of how witches perform their craft. This is the kind of things that they do. These are the kinds of rituals that they perform. These are the kinds of recipes that they follow. And so unwittingly, he has actually handed down a how-to of traditional witchcraft, which people really appreciate nowadays, to just know what the witches of the time were doing. So it's a really important document in that regard. Very, very cool stuff, and exciting to see this happening as a Kickstarter very soon. So not sure exactly what the date will be. However, you can head over to the Kickstarter page just by clicking on that link over here. And then you can ask, there'll be a button. I've already clicked on the button that says notify me when this Kickstarter launches. And you'll just receive an email saying, hey, that Kickstarter you wanted to know about, it's happening now. There we go. So that's how that works. 106 followers so far. I'm sure that'll do very, very well. Good news from Hadean Press. So Hadean Press have got it seems like a new imprint, right? We're extremely pleased to announce that the pre-orders are now open for the first title in the Papaveria Press Fairy Lore series. I'm so excited about this. So excited. The series, which has been in development since 2020, brings to life the classic texts of fairy mythology and folklore, along with new works from scholars, authors, and independent researchers who share our deep love and respect for fairies as they manifest in poetry, politics, history, literature, and in the world. So, Fairy Women, from the Portuguese book of Lineages of Count Dom Pedro, is the name of this first entry in this series, and I'm incredibly excited for this one. The pre-orders are already open, as you can see, and you can put in your orders already. The series begins with this book by Jose Leitao, a short monograph on the origins and influence of two Melusine like narratives, on Melusine. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I've only ever read it. Originating in Iberia in the 14th century, that of the Biscayan Lady Goatfoot and the Galician Lady Marina. I shouldn't have tried to read that, should I? I should have just left it where it was. These stories, found in written form for the first time in a medieval book of lineages, can be understood as legitimizing narratives meant to strengthen local power in times of regal or ecclesiastical encroachment. Though disseminated in circles entirely distinct from those of the more common fairy and fairy-like figures in the Iberian mythical folk pantheon, they're still complex repositories of local traditions and notions of land-based authority whose ancestry can be traced to the pre-Indo-European age of northern Iberia. I'll stop there. I'm just too excited. All right, folks. I'll let you read the rest on your own and put in your pre-orders, of course. As always, the links to all of this can be found down below in the description All right, news from Taschen. Taschen have got this lovely series called The Library of Esoteric, really, really beautiful books. They are, okay, to be quite clear, these are art books, but they contain interesting articles. Okay, so I've seen some people reaching out to me saying, hey, these books are very surface level. Yes, they are art books, right? You're very lucky to get this quality of articles and this many articles in an art book, right? We've had tarot, we've had astrology, we've had let me see, witchcraft. I got them up here. What was the last one? Astrology, witchcraft, and plant magic, of course. Plant magic, and then this is the 5th book in the series, Sacred Sites. It looks very, very lovely. As I say, the information in here is solid. It's just not necessarily how to say what you're going to introduce in the bibliography of your PhD, right? I mean, no, this is information for the wider public. It's for the layperson. So if you're new to this idea, then some of this information might be new. And if you're not new to this idea, all of this information you'll recognize is accurate, right? But it's not going to be anything groundbreaking. It's not going to be anything that you don't already know if you're already a specialist in the field, right? However, having this collection of iconography and images and artwork and photography that kind of encompass this particular aspect of magic, it's just really nice, and the books are particularly beautiful. On the outside, the series just looks very, very pretty. Yeah, so you know, I'm flicking through here. You're getting a general idea of what you get inside. It's a lot of pictures and a few articles. There we go. So that is now shipping. It's now available in stock, you know, and available to purchase. You can buy it directly through Taschen. They very often become available through Amazon. I'll see if I can maybe find an associate link for those of you who are kind enough to click on my Amazon associate links. It helps to, you know, round off the end of months. It makes a difference for me. Oh, here we go. Here are the other 4 available so far: the tarot, astrology, witchcraft, and plant magic. There we are. All right, let's move on to news from Skylight Press. Alan Richardson is publishing Dulac. So presumably maybe not even presumably, but definitely a hint at Lancelot du Lac. And for those wild fey souls who are wearied by the spiritual tyranny and tedious minutiae, of the Holy Grail, the great Dulac, with his heart of diamond and heart of wax, can show that there is always another way. His path has nothing to do with blood-dripping spears, floating bowls, high-born celebrity virgins, or perfect beauty who selfishly bugger off into their heaven and don't care what happens to the rest of us. It's everything to do with warmth, courage, gallantry, fumbling attempts at wisdom, and all those senseless, stupid, impulsive acts of love between the low-born common folk that are the true mysteries of the wasteland. A warm and compelling novel from the author of On Winsley Hill and The Fat Git. Okay, Alan Richardson has been writing books on magic for longer than many of his readers have been alive. He's done biographies of such occult luminaries as Dion Fortune, Aleister Crowley, Christine Hartley, and William G. Gray. He also is an expert on the earth mysteries, mythology, paganism, Celtic law, ancient Egypt, and Newcastle United Football Club. He does not belong to any occult group or society, does not take pupils, and until his retirement insisted on holding down a full-time job in the real world like any other mortal. That, after all, is part and parcel of the real magical path. He's married with 4 daughters, lives the life of happy hermit in southwest of England. 136 pages. You can buy it directly through Skylight Press. I'll leave, naturally, all the links that you need down below to pick that up if that sounds of interest to you. It sounds certainly of interest to me. Good. And then we've got news from Strange Attractor, who have announced a new book, Music from Elsewhere. This is very, very curious stuff, folks. So it's available as a hardback and as a paperback. I'm not entirely sure what the hardback looks like. Looking at the kind of gradient on the spine there, this may in fact be the hardback with a dust cover, possibly. But this is what this is about, right? So a cacophonous cabinet of curiosities, gathering other musics channeled from the spirit world, the fairy kingdom, lots of fairies today, outer space, secret societies, and occult lodges, compiled by musician, historian, and archivist Doug Skinner. This unique collection of esoteric earworms gathers and examines music from other worlds. Notation is also included for several tunes so that you can play along at home. It sounds exciting, right? Over 8 themed essays, you'll find tunes hummed, strummed, and sung by spirits, sprites, and fairies, extraterrestrial elevator music, dreamed ditties, marches for occult ceremonies, secret musical codes and languages, music made by animals, and more. And you can read a little bit about Doug Skinner down here. This sounds really exciting. For those of you who don't know, Strange Attractor are the company or the publisher who recently published Austin Osman Spare's Tarot, right? Which again I'm going to give you a little preview of tomorrow because I received my box that I shelled out for last month. Very, very exciting, fascinating stuff, actually. Really, really fascinating stuff. So just to let you know, if you missed out on the Austin Osman Spare Tarot and you're hoping to pick it up along with possibly the accompanying book, I believe there are still some available on this Strange Attractor website. So this is possibly a book to add there. Here we go. If I just click on Austin Osman Spare Tarot, yes, we can see that in fact the all of the options are still available, even this super deluxe set, which is the one that I shelled out for. Worth every penny. Just I'll show it to you tomorrow so you can get an idea. There we are. So very exciting news there. And then we've got news from Watkins Books, who are saying that they are giving a 25% reduction to people who are pre-ordering the Moon and Serpent bumper book of magic by Alan Moore through them. So if you order this long-awaited Alan Moore book through Watkins Books, then the price will be £29 for you instead of £39, right? So £30 instead of £40, essentially, right? Very, very cool stuff. Anyone living in the UK, this is an incredible deal, and it's due out in October, right? Mid-October 2024. So that's obviously very exciting. It's not the first book, actually, that Watkins have been offering a significant discount on for pre-orders. I just can't remember right now what the others have been, but there are a few. It's worth checking out the rest of the website and the web shop, right? To get an idea of which ones are. I wonder if you'd be able to find it out through the website, actually. Possibly not, but definitely sign up to their newsletter, where they'll let you know whenever there's a special offer like this. Very cool, very, very cool stuff. Oh, I love Watkins Books. Okay, all right. Let's move on to let's see, Practical Occult. Yes, Alison Tchaikovsky has put out a new pre-order for her very popular Triangles of Hekate. These were snapped up last time she made them. They went just really fast, and now she's working on a new batch, and they are very beautiful. And people report how useful and helpful they are on their altars to Hekate. Anyone who's possibly taking the Hell Hekate course might be interested in these. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice slightly closer up look at the finished product. Yeah, with the goddess with the torch in her hand, reflecting in this kind of is it brass? I guess possibly centerpiece. Let's see. One of each of the three faces of the goddesses is carved carefully into each corner. A crescent moon crowns each head. Each figure holds a torch and a whip, a key and a dagger, or a serpent. Meticulously placed, the original Greek intonations, these ones, speak to the relationship between Hekate and the other deities, as well as acknowledges her power over the art of divination. The final epithet appears at the feet of each Hekate figure, possibly symbolizing her ability to effect change as an intermediary between the gods and those who appeal to her. The triangle measures 8 inches on each side and comes with its own wooden stand. It's constructed from steel with a copper mirror and slightly coated to prevent rust and tarnish. There we go. So you can put your orders in through there. Some very, very appreciative reviews there. It's worth checking out what people have been saying about these cool little Hekate triangles. There we go. Lots more on Practical Occult, by the way, practicaloccult.com. Lots of interesting little talismanic bracelets and stuff like that. Worth having a look around. You might find something of interest. Couple of card Kickstarters to show you folks before wrapping up. We've got Arcana Folia Oracle, a 55 card leafy oracle deck that helps you practice intuitive channeling. Very, very nature oriented, and I'm always interested in these circular cards. It gives an opportunity for a bit more than just upright and reversed, right? It gives an opportunity for variation, right? Very pretty backs, very pretty, and the artwork on these just looks quite lovely, and you can see the green edges there. Yeah, I think that's probably going to appeal to quite a few people. And it's real hand-painted art by a human being. What other kind of art could there possibly be, right? And it's lovely, really lovely, careful work, and beautiful, and from the heart, very nice, very good. I wish them a lot of success. They've clearly already reached their original goal, and going ahead with much more. And then we've got Venusian tarot card deck. Sounds probably a bit more commercially viable than venereal tarot card deck, which is probably the proper way to put that. Hearts Compass Tarot. So I say venereal because it's most likely to do with the goddess Venus rather than the planet. In the same way we have Martial and Martian, those really refer to two different things, but this Venusian tarot looks very pretty indeed, very pretty indeed. Obviously a strongly feminine aura to these, right? Energy to these naturally, and you can get a little look at some of the artwork here. Now, in terms of whether they've used AI here, I can't remember if I checked this out or not. I do tend to check these out before putting them on my list. And if I remember correctly, no, I'm afraid I don't know. If in the FAQ possibly, no, nothing in the FAQ. So, yeah, if you're interested in this particular deck, you'll probably want to zoom in a little bit, and if it's something that you care about, as it is something that I care about. There we are, and then we've got Akkad, which is my board game of the week. Very, 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 very far away from reaching their goal. But if I don't talk about this, who will, right? Obviously, this has to be my board game of the week. Restore the Akkadian Empire to glory in this epic and historical game. I think they could have done with some help on the art side. I think they could have done with some help on just the graphic design side. It just looks very homemade from the 90s, but nevertheless, the topic of the game is very cool. I have no idea how they're going to turn this shape into a wood unit, but good, who knows. I just love the topic. I love the theme of this game. It's just such an unusual theme, right? So yeah, you can go and check out the how to play over here. Maybe they give us some details up here. An intense strategy game of conquest, industry, warfare, and religion, themed around the Akkadian Empire in ancient Mesopotamia. Players will complete quests to gain victory points and earn the favor of the king, Naram Suen. Expand your territory, build and upgrade your cities, collect resources and taxes, dig canals, raise temples, recruit armies for battle, march legions along the Tigris and Euphrates, and send priests to convert heretics to your cause. All this and more in the name of Akkad. So yeah, obviously this looks like it could potentially be fun, right? If it's something that that you would like to pick up, if it does get funded, then yeah, go and support the game. Yeah, they're asking for £90 for the finished game. Yeah, considering the just the how marketable some of the games are out there that cost £90, right? Compared to this does seem more like a £40 game, but it's just the way it is, right? People make choices. There we are. That's what I have for you for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so already, and if you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me about your spiritual life, about your magical life, about where you'd like to go next, about the next steps to take if you're just getting started and you're not sure what path to take, or if you've been doing magic for a little while but you're feeling stuck, come and have a chat. Use me as a bouncing board or whatever you need. I'll read your tarot. We'll find the answers to your questions one way or another, and we'll have a good time. So yeah, the links to do that are down below as well. And what else? Well, yeah, just stay tuned for some for the July book roundup, which, as I say, I'll be recording tomorrow morning and editing probably for the rest of the day, and hopefully posting by tomorrow evening, and yeah, and look after yourselves and look after each other. Join the Patreon. Who knows? All right, there's a Patreon. There's a Foolish Fish Discord. All of that good stuff. All of those links are down below. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.